What is up, everyone? Thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for joining back. What can I say? It's been a couple of weeks. We have about 4 weeks left in this challenge to myself of getting stronger after COVID. I have, again, like about 4 weeks to deadlift 650 pounds. I wanted to squat 600 pounds, which I don't know if that's going to work. The last time I squatted, the heaviest that I got was 535. And then my bench that I wanted to bench was 425. And I don't even know how that's going to go. I was feeling really confident before, but now this bench again has been feeling really heavy. But like I said in my previous video, sometimes how you feel really doesn't matter. As long as the weight moves, sometimes it feels heavy. And I think kind of what I've noticed too is just like once you start lifting heavy and you get to a certain point, it's all heavy, but it doesn't really feel any different. It's either heavy and it moves or it's heavy and it doesn't move. So that's where we are with that. Today, what I want to talk to you guys about though was dieting, because I've had a couple of people, now that I'm starting to transition over to like my hypertrophy and body recomping, I've had a couple people ask me about dieting and have made comments and stuff. And I wanted to address it since I'm kind of going in that direction now anyway. So one of the things that I'm constantly asked is, well, you know, I don't really eat much or I'm dieting and nothing's happening. And to that, I ask a couple of questions. So here's where you guys can get some tips and some advice on what to do about dieting. Most common thing that people do are trying to do, or what happens when people are dieting, is they're starting off dieting without really having anywhere to go. And what I mean by that is just that they're not really eating enough. When you are maxed out in that, there's not really much that you can do to continue losing weight, especially if you're not eating much already. So perfect example, I had this cousin of mine and he called me up and he said, hey, Mike, like I'm trying to diet right now. I think he was like 200 pounds and I'm still trying to diet and I want to get rid of some more weight. I'm like, okay, cool. How much are you eating? And he said to me, 900 calories. It was either 900 or 1,000 calories. So just to give you guys some background, I have bikini competitors that I've trained and prepped for competitions. And at the end of their prep, they're eating more than that. Or if they are eating that amount of calories, it's for a very, very short period of time, maybe a couple of days or a week tops. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier, this is the common mistake. Either people start off doing too much or they're starting off in the wrong place. So the person that has been eating 1,000 calories for the last, couple of years, 3-4 years, and they're not losing weight. And the first thing that they decide to do is like when they want to start losing weight, I'm going to start doing some cardio and whatever. That might help for a little bit, but then when that option runs out, where are you going to go? What are you going to do next? And the same goes for the person that, is, starting out and immediately gets rid of all of their calories. So maybe they're consuming 3,500 calories a day, 3,000 calories a day, and right off the bat they go down to 15,000 calories or something along that line. That's an extreme jump, and it doesn't allow you to really go anywhere afterwards. So the key is when you're trying to diet and you're trying to lose weight, and vice versa too, on the opposite side, when you're trying to gain muscle and gain weight, is do as little as you can to get the most results before you do more. For example, with this person that I'm speaking of, my cousin here, if he was to, let's say if he was dieting with me and I would want him to be eating maybe like 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories, and to be able to maintain weight there and slowly take away calories. Slowly taking away calories for me would mean reducing his caloric intake by 250 calories. Now, here's the trick. It doesn't always have to come from food. Putting yourself into a further caloric deficit can come from exercise. It could come from your daily caloric expenditure, so you can count steps. It can come from cardio, or it can come from food, or it can come from a combination of all of those things. So those small adjustments, and always leaving yourself somewhere to go next if that doesn't work or if the changes that you've made isn't enough. So another thing that commonly people will say is, well, I'm doing everything and nothing's happening, or I've taken calories away and nothing's happening. And if that's the case, you really have to look at a couple of things. A, are you doing this consistent? B, and what I mean, actually, let's go back to A. So when I say A, are you doing this consistent? On weekends, do you cheat? Do you cheat every couple of days? And if you do, by how much? Maybe you're not really in a caloric deficit. I mean, chances are, if you're not losing, scientifically, mathematically, you're not in a caloric deficit, and there's something in the fine print of whatever you're doing that's causing you not to lose weight. Maybe you're doing 45 minutes more on the cardio machine, but you're not really moving around all day. That's going to make a huge impact that I don't think a lot of people realize. So that's another way that you can manipulate somebody's diet or their workout routine or their day or their lifestyle to reduce calories more. If another example that I might say to somebody is, okay, we're not going to take any more food away this week. All we're going to do is we have to have an extra 4,000 steps a day. And that is a lifestyle change that is going to cause them to lose weight without really doing anything excessive per se. So you won't have to do any extra cardio, or you won't have to train another day. It's really up to that person, depending on what their goal is. That might look a little different for bodybuilders, and for people that are trying to change their physique. That's probably actually a really great option, because the more steady state cardio that you're doing, chances are you're going to be eating into muscle. So if we can burn more calories throughout the day, it makes it a little bit easier to maintain muscle. Anyway, guys, that is a huge thing that I see, a common mistake that I see people make all the time, is just doing way too much or starting in a bad place. So let me address something else. If you happen to be one of those people that have started in a bad place, or you did too much, too early, too fast, the way out of it, what you would do is you'd want to reverse diet. And I think a lot of people get this reverse dieting thing confused. Reverse dieting, how you want to do it, you need to add as much calories as you can that doesn't allow for your body to adapt to those new calories. So you would take that in consideration when you're adding calories back in. So typically I would add anywhere from 100, like 50, 100, 75, even 150 calories back into somebody's diet weekly, until I can get them to the point of where they should be. And what I mean by where there should be is a ballpark. If I take their BMI, BMI is not really the greatest indicator of how much calories that you could take in, but it gets you somewhat close. It gets you in the ballpark. So if we can get you somewhere close to there, that's a really good indicator. That gets you at a really good starting spot for you to diet down again. Or, if you're in the process of dieting down, you could also use a reverse diet for a shorter period of time, just to again get your hormones and body used to kind of consuming a little bit more calories, so that it's okay with being inefficient with calories and burning excess calories, allowing your body to burn these excess calories because it knows it's being fed. So hopefully that helps, guys. I hope that was helpful and it helps a lot of people. I know I've had a lot of questions on this, so this should answer a lot of questions for a lot of people. Hope it helped. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, follow, and peace.